Good evening, and welcome. Tonight's story takes you aboard the very last tram of the night, an old wooden tram lit warm and gold, rolling slow and gentle through quiet, rainy streets toward the end of the line, with no other passengers, nowhere to be, and nothing to do but ride along and watch the wet lamplit cities slide by. There is no plot to follow tonight, and nothing to keep track of. The story is only a warm, empty tram, and the rain and the long, slow ride home. There is nothing here you need to hold on to, and nothing you will be asked to remember. If your thoughts wander away from my voice, let them drift out through the rain-streaked glass, and if you fall asleep before the end, you have done it exactly right. Settle in now. Find the position you sleep best in, or near enough to it. Let the bed take all of your weight, every last bit of it. There is nowhere you have to be tonight but here, and here is warm and here is safe. Before the story begins, take a moment to arrive in your body. You are lying down. You are warm enough. Nothing more is asked of you tonight. Bring your attention gently to your feet. You do not need to move them. Just notice them and let them grow heavy, as if they were filling slowly with warm sand. Let that heaviness rise into your legs. Your calves rest. Your knees rest. The long muscles of your thighs let go of their last small holding and sink. Your hands now? Let the fingers uncurl on their own. Your arms grow heavy at your sides, heavy and warm, like rope laid down in soft coils, finished with the day's work. Your shoulders drop, away from your ears, down into the bed. Your jaw unclenches, the small muscles around your eyes smooth out, the way water smooths when the wind has gone. And your breath moves through all of this heaviness, slow and easy, rocking you very gently the way a boat rocks at its mooring. Heavy and warm and held, ready to listen, ready to drift. You are sitting alone aboard the last tram of the night, on a wooden bench worn smooth and warm by years of travelers, as the old tram rolls slow and easy through the quiet city in the rain. It is very late, and the streets are empty, and you are the only passenger, and the tram is yours. All of it, the whole warm lamplit length of it, carrying you gently home. There is no clock you need to watch, and no turning you need to take. The ride is long, and the night is soft, and the tram will carry you the whole way without your lifting a finger. It is an old tram, the kind with polished wooden seats and brass rails worn to gold and round white lamps glowing soft along the ceiling, and it is warm inside, the warmth coming up from somewhere beneath the floor, so that the windows have fogged a little at their edges, and the whole carriage holds a snug amber glow. Outside the windows the rain is falling, soft and steady, and the city slides by in the dark, shop fronts shuttered, windows curtained and dim, the wet streets shining black and gold under the lamps. The night is cool out there and wet, and the tram is warm and dry, and you are deep inside the warm and dry of it, wrapped in the low gold light going home. The bench beneath you is the loveliest part of the whole carriage. A long curve of golden wood the color of old honey, worn smooth and dark in the middle, where 1,000 travelers have sat before you, riding home through nights just like this one. The grain of it runs in soft ripples under your hand, polished by years of gentle use, warm to the touch, and the back of the seat curves to meet your shoulders as if it were made for exactly this, for one tired person settling in for the last ride of the night. You run your fingertips along the smooth wood, slow and idle, the way you might stroke the arm of a familiar chair, and the wood is warm, and the warmth seeps into your hands. Here and there along the edge of the seat, the varnish has worn thin and gone soft and matte, rubbed by the slow passage of many hands, and your fingers find those worn places and rest in them, in the little hollows that other tired hands have made. The brass rails run the length of the carriage, looped and curved for standing passengers who are not here tonight, and the lamplight catches them and turns them to soft rivers of gold. They have been polished by 10,000 hands until the metal glows from within, deep and mellow, no glare in it anywhere, only that low, warm shine from the rails hang the leather straps for standing travelers. A long, even row of them, swaying very gently with the motion of the tram, all together, this way and that, like reeds in a slow current. The leather has gone soft and dark with age and handling, and the brass loops they hang from chime against the rail now and then, a small round sound, almost too quiet to hear, and then are still. You watch the straps sway and settle, and there is nothing in the world more restful than the swaying of those empty straps in the warm gold light. Along the ceiling, just beneath the row of round white lamps, runs the bell cord, a worn length of soft brown cord threaded through little brass rings the whole length of the car, that a traveler would once have reached up and pulled to ring for a stop. Tonight, no hand reaches for it, and the cord hangs slack and still in its rings, swaying the smallest amount with the motion of the tram, and at the front the little brass bell it answers to sits quiet on its bracket, polished and round and silent. There is no stop you need to ring for. Your stop is the last of all, and the tram will carry you to it, whether you ring or not, and so the cord hangs untouched, and the bell stays still. And the quiet of it is a comfortable quiet, the quiet of a thing at rest, with no call to make and no one to answer. Above your head the round white lamps hang in their row, each one a small soft moon, spaced evenly down the ceiling, and they give a light that does not dazzle, a gentle creamy glow that fills the carriage and pools on the wood and rests easy on the eyes. You could look at those lamps all the way home and never tire of them. The ceiling itself is painted a soft cream, gone the color of old ivory with the years, and faint patterns run along it, scrolls and leaves picked out in a paint so worn and gentle you can barely make them out, and the lamplight lies across them warm and even. Between the lamps the ceiling dims to a soft buttery shadow, and then the next lamp and the next, all the way down the long warm car. The tram moves slowly, in no haste at all, the way the last tram of the night always moves, as though it knows there is no one waiting and nothing to rush for. It rolls along its rails with a deep, soft hum, and now and then it sways gently on the smooth old track, a long, easy roll from side to side, the way a cradle rocks, and then it settles and hums on. Beneath you the wheels turn over the joints in the rails with a slow, even rhythm, a soft double knock, and again, spaced out and unhurried, the heartbeat of the long ride home. You feel it more than hear it, the gentle knock coming up through the warm wood of the seat and into your body, soft and regular, a rhythm with no edges to it, a rhythm you could sink into and never come back up. You sit by the window with your shoulder against the warm wooden frame, and you watch the rain run down the glass, threads of it, bright with the passing lamplight, sliding and joining and sliding again. The city goes by outside, soft and blurred through the wet glass, and every street lamp wears a halo of falling rain, gold and gentle, and the light of them swings slowly across the inside of the tram as you pass, brightening the empty seats, the brass rails, your own folded hands, and then sliding on and away into the dark behind. The window frame is broad and wooden and worn, and your shoulder settles into it, and the cool of the glass is near your cheek, and the warmth of the car is at your back, so that you rest between the two, held there neither too warm nor too cool, in the soft middle of it. The warmth comes up steadily through the floor, through the soles of your shoes, up into your ankles and your legs. A low, even heat that has been building all evening, that the empty carriage has gathered and kept. The whole floor is warm beneath you, the old boards radiating it softly, and you feel it the way you feel the sun through a window in the afternoon, without thinking, your body simply easing into it. Down the center of the floor runs a long strip of worn matting, dark and soft, with the boards showing pale and smooth at its edges where 1,000 feet have walked, and the heat rises up through all of it, through the matting and the boards alike, and gathers in the warm, still air of the car. The windows have misted at their lower edges and in their corners, the warm air inside meeting the cool, wet glass, and through the clear middle of the pane the city slides by, and around the misted edges the lamplight blurs to soft gold smudges, so that the whole window is a small framed painting of the rainy night, clear at the heart and gentle at the borders. If you lift a finger to the fogged glass and draw it slowly down, a clear streak follows, and the cool of the glass touches your fingertip for just a moment, and then you let your hand fall back into your lap, because there is nothing to do, no message to leave, no reason to clear the view. The mist will gather again, the lamps will keep passing. You fold your hands once more in the warm light and let the window be. Above the windows, all along both sides of the car, run the little advertisement cards in their narrow brass frames, old painted notices for soap and tea and seaside towns, their colors faded to soft browns and creams and pale faded blues, the lettering rounded and gentle, the pictures gone dim and dreamy with the years. You let your eye wander along them without reading. A curl of steam from a painted teacup, a calm painted sea, a lady in a pale painted coat under a painted sky, all of them soft and worn and meaning nothing now, only a row of quiet colors set above the dark windows, glowing faintly in the lamplight. There is nothing there you need to understand. They are only pleasant to rest your eyes on, the way old pictures in a familiar room are pleasant, asking nothing, telling you nothing you have to keep. Near the front of the car, a small clock is set into the wooden paneling, its face round and yellowed, its hands moving so slowly you cannot see them move at all, only know that they have moved when you look again. It keeps the slow late hours without fuss, and there is no hour on it you need to mind, no time you are bound to, for the tram will take exactly as long as it takes, and you are in no haste, and neither is the night. The little clock ticks somewhere under its glass, a small dry sound lost in the hum of the car, and the hands rest in the small hours, and the night goes on being late and soft and unhurried all around you. There is no one else aboard. The conductor sits up at the front on his high stool, an old man in a worn cap, and he is half asleep himself, nodding gently with the sway of the tram. His ticket machine quiet on its strap, his day all but done. He does not trouble you, and you do not trouble him. He knows the line by heart, every stop and curve and gradient of it, and he will get you home without a word, the way he has brought the last passengers home 1,000 rainy nights. You are in good hands. You need do nothing at all but sit and ride and watch the rain. He has driven this tram so long that his hands know the work without him, easing the brake and the throttle in their slow, familiar way, and his eyes rest half-closed on the wet track ahead, on the 2 bright rails running out into the rain. Now and then his head nods lower and then lifts again, gently, the way a man dozes who has done a thing 10,000 times and could do it in his sleep. There is something deeply restful in him, in the loose ease of his shoulders, in the worn cap and the steady hands. An old man at the end of his round, taking the last soul of the night safely home, in no haste, sure of every yard of the way. Beside him on a little shelf stands a tin flask of tea gone warm and a small brass lamp turned low, and the lamp throws a soft pool of amber over his hands and his cap and the worn wooden panel before him, and he sits in that little pool of light at the front of the car like a man sitting by his own hearth, content, drowsy, almost home. The tram comes to a stop, slowing smooth and gentle, the brakes sighing softly, and it stands a moment at an empty halt under a single lamp. The rain falling steady through the cone of light, the doors open to the wet night air, which comes in cool and clean and smelling of rain on warm pavement. No one is waiting, no one gets on. After a moment, the doors fold shut with a soft sound, and the tram gathers itself and rolls on, the hum rising again beneath the floor, the double knock of the wheels taking up its slow rhythm once more. The cool air that came in mingles with the warm air of the car and is gone, leaving only the faint, clean smell of the rain behind, the smell of wet stone and wet leaves, and the night, threaded through the warm old smell of polished wood and worn leather that lives in the car always. By the doors stands a tall brass handrail worn bright as a coin, and a little folding gate of wooden slats, and the rubber tread of the step gone soft and rounded at its edge with the passing of so many feet. The brass of the handrail is cool when the doors stand open to the night, and warm again when they fold shut, and the heat of the car gathers back around it, and it keeps that slow round of cool and warm all down the line, cool and warm, with each empty halt. You need not hold it. You need not rise and reach for it. It is only there, gleaming softly by the door, ready for a hand that does not come, while you sit deep in your warm seat far down the car and let the stops go by. The stops go by like this all along the line, each one a little island of light in the dark, a single lamp on its post and a small shelter beneath it, the bench inside empty and shining with rain. At this hour, no one waits at any of them. The whole city has gone in out of the wet and turned its lamps down low and gone to bed, and the tram runs its last round through the sleeping streets with only you aboard, pausing at each empty stop out of long habit, out of kindness, in case some late soul should be standing there in the rain. But none ever is, and so the tram waits its patient moment and rolls on, and you watch the lit stop slide away behind, growing small in the dark, and then the next one comes, and the next, beads of warm light strung along the wet black thread of the line. At one of the halts, a single black umbrella has been left behind on the shelter bench, folded and leaning in the corner, forgotten by some traveler hours ago, and waiting there in the lamplight for a morning that will bring its owner back, or will not, and either way it rests easy, a small dark shape out of the rain, asking nothing of anyone. You see it as the doors stand open, and then the doors fold shut, and it slides away into the dark behind. And you think of it no more, for it has nothing to do with you, only one more quiet thing the night is keeping safe until morning. There is a deep comfort in those empty halts, in the doors opening to no one and folding gently shut, in the unhurried care of it, the tram keeping its old promise to a city fast asleep. Nothing is required of the night, and nothing is required of you. The stops come and the stops go, and you need not stir for any of them, need not gather yourself or reach for anything, for your stop is the last one of all, far ahead at the end of the line, and there's a long warm ride between here and there. You settle deeper into the warm wooden seat and let the ride carry you. There is a particular comfort in being carried, in going somewhere without walking, without steering, without choosing the way, in simply sitting still while the world slides gently by and brings you closer to home with every turn of the wheels. You have nothing to do. The tram knows the way, the conductor watches the road, the rain falls and the lamps pass and the streets unspool behind you, and all that is asked of you is to be carried. You let your hands lie loose in your lap, and you let your shoulder rest against the warm wooden frame, and you let the long, slow ride do all the work of bringing you home. The way it has brought so many tired travelers home before you, gently, surely, in its own good time. The route winds out of the close streets of the city center now, past a dark park where the wet trees stand dripping under the lamps, their leaves shining, the grass beyond them black and soft with rain. Past a row of tall old houses, every window curtained, one or two still glowing faintly gold behind the curtains, someone reading late, someone not yet asleep. Warm lives behind warm glass, sliding by and gone, past a bakery, dark now, but you can almost smell it. The oven's cold till morning, the flour and the warm bread sleeping in the dark behind the shutter. Past a fountain in a little square, its water turned off, gathering the rain in its stone basin. Past the shut front of a little shop with its blind drawn down and one small light left burning within, low and amber, a lamp left on for nothing, for company glowing gently to itself in the empty shop all night. Past a tailor's window where a single dressmaker's form stands in the dark, draped in a half-finished coat, patient and still, keeping its own quiet watch over the bolts of cloth asleep on their shelves. Past a church with its dark tower streaming rain, its clock face softly lit, the hands gone round to the small hours. Past a narrow lane running off into deeper dark, a single lamp at the far end of it, and a line of wet cobbles shining all the way down. The city offers up these quiet pictures one after another, framed in your rain-streaked window, each one held for a moment and then drawn gently away, and you watch them pass the way you might watch the slow turning of a music box, with no need to keep any of them, no need to remember. The fountain in the little square is the loveliest of all, and the tram slows for the curve there, so you see it well. The old stone basin brimming with rain, the water spilling soft over its rim and running away down the gutters, a fat carved figure in the middle, holding an urn that pours nothing now, only catches the rain and lets it overflow. The square is empty. The rain falls into the full basin with a sound you cannot hear but can imagine, a soft and endless patter, and the lamp above throws its light down through the falling rain, and the whole square is silver and gold and wet and asleep. And then the tram straightens out of the curve and the square slides away behind, and the dark closes over it. Past a little tobacconist on a corner, its window full of dark pipes and tins all asleep behind the glass, and a faded paper sign curling at its edges, and a single small bulb left glowing somewhere at the back. Past a market street where the day's stalls stand empty and folded for the night, their striped awnings rolled and tied, their trestles bare and washed by the rain, a stray leaf of cabbage left shining in the gutter, the whole long row of them hooded and dark and dreaming of the morning's noise that is hours and hours away. Past a baker's a second one, and a greengrocer with its empty crates stacked under a dripping canopy, and a butcher's white-tiled window scrubbed and bare. The shops go by shut and quiet one after another, each one tucked in for the night behind its blind, and the tram floats past them all warm and lit, the only thing moving in the long dark street, and you watch the shut shops drift by and feel how soundly the whole town sleeps. There is a smell to the inside of the car that you notice now, settled and old and kind. The smell of beeswax and warm wood and the worn leather of the seats, of brass polish faint beneath it, and under all of that the clean, wet breath of the night that comes and goes at every halt. It is the smell of a thing well kept and long used, a snug and lived-in smell, and you breathe it slow and it settles you the way the smell of a familiar room settles you the moment you step into it, before you have thought a single thought. You breathe it in warm and waxy and clean and let it out slow, and the warm gold car rolls gently on. The line runs down toward the river now, and the tram rolls out onto a low stone bridge, and for a little while there is water on both sides of you, broad and dark and slow, dimpled all over with the falling rain. The lamps along the bridge lay long ribbons of gold down onto the black water, and the ribbons shiver and break and gather again as the rain stirs the surface, and far off downstream a single light burns on some moored boat, small and steady, doubled in the water beneath it. The tram crosses the bridge slow and even, the river passing wide and quiet below, and you rest your shoulder against the frame and watch the gold ribbons tremble on the dark water, and then the far bank rises up to meet you and the houses close in once more, and the river is behind you, sliding away into the rainy dark. Beyond the river, the route runs for a stretch beside a still canal where a long barge lies moored against the bank, dark and low, a single lamp glowing in its little cabin window, a curl of smoke from its small chimney leaning sideways in the rain. The water of the canal is black and perfectly still between the rains that pocket, and the moored barge rides on it without moving, fast asleep at its mooring, its ropes gone slack, its deck washed clean and shining. You picture someone snug in the warm cabin of it, lying in a narrow bunk with the rain on the roof close above them, rocked by nothing at all. And the thought is a warm one, and it drifts away as the canal drifts away, and the tram hums gently on. The rain thickens for a while, drumming softly on the roof of the tram, a gentle, steady wash overhead, and the windows blur and run, and the lamps outside soften to great warm smudges of gold in the dark. You can hear it on the roof, just above you, the patient murmur of it, and you can hear it hiss beneath the wheels where they roll through the shining wet, and the two sounds wrap around the hum of the tram and the slow knock of the rails, and together they make the snuggest sound there is, a warm, dry box of light rolling gently through the soft, wet dark. The tram sways and hums and rolls on. The conductor nods on his stool. A single late cat watches from a dry doorway as you pass, eyes gold in the lamplight, and then is gone behind you into the rain. The streets grow quieter and wider as the route runs out toward the edge of the city, the buildings lower, the lamps farther apart, the dark between them deeper and softer, and the tram rolls on through it all, unhurried, certain, carrying you home. The cat in the doorway has the right idea. Tucked up dry under a low stone arch, out of the rain, watching the world go by and asking nothing of it. It is the only thing awake in all the wet, dark streets, and it watches the warm gold tram float past with its single sleepy passenger, and then it settles its paws beneath itself and looks away into the rain and is gone. Soon there are no more doorways to watch from, no more shop fronts, only the long, low road running out toward the edge of town, and the lamps strung farther and farther apart, each one a soft gold pool with a deep, soft dark between. Now and then a thing left out for the morning slides by in the lamplight, gentle and ordinary, and your eye rests on it for a moment and then lets it go. A row of milk bottles set out clean and empty on a dark step, beaded with rain, waiting for the dawn. A red postbox standing patient on a corner with the rain running off its rounded top. A garden gate left on the latch swinging the smallest amount and no wind at all. A child's small boot forgotten on a porch. None of them need anything from you. They are only the quiet furniture of a sleeping town, set out in the rain, glowing softly as the tram lamps reach them, and then sinking back into the dark, and you watch them come and go with the same easy idleness with which you watch the lamps, keeping none of them, holding none of them, letting each one slide away. Under the eaves of the last low houses, the pigeons are sleeping, tucked into their round soft shapes along the dry ledges, heads under wings, out of the rain, swaying not at all, and a single pale moth turns slow and dreamy circles about one of the lamps you pass, drawn to its gentle warmth, around and around in the soft gold cone of light, in no haste, going nowhere, content to drift about the lamp until the morning. You glimpse it for a moment, the moth at the lamp, the sleeping birds along the ledge, and then they too are behind you, and the dark folds over them, and they sleep on in the rain while the warm tram carries you away. The conductor stirs the smallest amount on his stool, settles his cap and dozes again, and his hand rests easy on the worn lever, and the tram does not waver. He has come this way so many thousand nights that the route runs through him like a familiar tune, every gentle curve and gradient known to his hands before his eyes have found it. and so he may doze and the tram roll true, the two of them gone soft and easy together at the end of the long round, bringing the last warm light of the night out toward the edge of town. There is nothing in him that is not at rest, and there is nothing in the car that is not at rest, and there is nothing in you that is not, by now, at rest as well. In those wide, dark stretches between the lamps, the carriage seems to draw its warmth even closer about you, the only lit thing in the night, a small, bright room rolling gently through the rain. For a moment, the window shows you nothing but your own reflection, dim and warm in the amber light, the empty seats behind you, the row of round white lamps, and then a new lamp swims up out of the dark ahead and slides its glow across the glass and across your face and away, and the city beyond returns, dimmer now, sparser, softer, the last low houses of the town with their dark gardens, their dripping hedges, their gates closed for the night. The road runs out past the last of the gardens now, past a row of allotments where little wooden sheds stand dark among the wet rows, a watering can left to fill with rain, a line of bean canes leaning, all of it soaked and patient and asleep, past a tall stand of poplars that sway together very slowly in the dark, their tops lost in the low cloud, the rain dripping steadily from leaf to leaf, past a quiet level crossing where the gates stand open to the empty road and a soft yellow lamp burns in the little keeper's hut. No train tonight, no one to pass, only the rain and the gates standing open and the one warm light in the hut. The tram rolls over the crossing with a slower, deeper knock, and then takes up its old rhythm again and rolls on out toward the edge of everything. Your thoughts begin to loosen and drift with the sway of the carriage, rocking gently this way and that, going nowhere, settling. The warmth comes up through the floor and into your bones. The lamp swings slowly past, gold and gone, brightening your folded hands and sliding away. The rain runs down the glass. The wheels knock soft and even over the joints in the rails, a slow lullaby of iron and wood, and again, spaced wide and patient, the long ride home. You are nearly there now. The last few stops slide by, empty halts under their single lamps, the doors opening to no one, folding shut again, the tram rolling on. The end of the line is somewhere ahead in the soft, rainy dark, and the tram knows exactly where it is, and is taking you there gently, in its own good time, and you have nothing to do until you arrive but rest, your shoulder against the warm wooden frame, your eyes growing heavy in the amber light. Far ahead, where the line runs out, you can just begin to make out the soft glow of the depot waiting in the rain, a long, low shed with its doors standing open, and a few warm lamps burning inside, ready to take the tram in out of the wet when the round is done. It is a kind light, that distant glow, patient and unhurried, a place of rest at the end of the line, and the tram rolls toward it slow and easy, in no haste to arrive, and you rest in your warm seat and watch the soft far light grow the smallest amount nearer with each turn of the wheels. There is no rush to reach it. There is only the long, slow rolling toward it through the rain. Inside the far shed, where the warm lamps burn, the other trams are sleeping in their long row, drawn in out of the wet for the night, dark and quiet on their rails, their lamps turned off, their wooden flanks gleaming faintly in the spillage of light, resting until the morning calls them out again. There is a place there waiting for this tram too, an empty length of rail with its name above it, warm and dry and out of the rain, and the tram rolls toward its own place in the sleeping row, slow and sure, the way a tired thing comes home to its own bed at the end of a long day. You need not see it arrive. You need only rest and be carried, and let the soft far light come slowly nearer through the rain. The warmth is all around you now, up through the floor and into your bones, the soft gold light on your hands, the gentle sway of the carriage rocking you slow and easy from side to side, The rain murmurs on the roof. The wheels knock soft over the rails. The conductor nods on his stool, and the last lamps of the town drift past, farther and farther apart, gold and gone, and the dark between them grows wide and soft and kind. The straps sway gently from the brass rails, all together, this way and that. The little clock keeps the slow late hours. The lamps glow soft and round along the ceiling, and the tram sways and hums and rolls on through the rain. The bench is warm beneath you. The window is cool against your cheek. The floor is warm beneath your feet, and the tram sways and hums and rolls on through the rain. The tram sways and hums and rolls on through the rain. The lamps pass slow and gold. The wheels knock soft over the rails, and the rain falls steady on the roof just above you, and the warm gold carriage carries you home through the quiet, sleeping city. There is nothing to do but be carried. There is nowhere to be but here, in the warm and the light, rolling gently through the dark. The conductor watches the road. The tram knows the way. The end of the line is coming, soft and slow, and you will be home before you know it, and home is sleep. The rain falls. The lamps pass. The straps sway. The wheels knock soft over the rails. The tram rolls on, warm and golden gentle, through the long, wet, quiet streets of the sleeping town, carrying you slowly, surely home. The rain falls. The lamps pass. The warm gold tram rolls on, and you rest in the warm of it, and the long ride carries you home. The warmth is beneath you, and around you, and over you. The rain is soft on the roof. The lamps are gold, and gone, and gold again. And the tram rolls on, and carries you, and asks nothing of you at all. You are warm. You are carried. You are nearly home. There is the gentle sway, and the soft low hum, and the slow knock of the wheels, and the rain, and the warm gold light, and nothing else in all the world. Sway, and hum, knock, and roll. The rain falls soft on the roof, and the last tram rolls on home. Sway, and hum, gold and gone. The rain falls soft, and the tram rolls on, soft and slow and warm and slow. Soft and slow, warm and slow, home and home and home and home.